UKSM, and I am very excited because this is going to be the Breath of the Wild Master Sword RTA run. If you have not seen this, you're in for a treat. Those of you who have, let's make sure we keep chat really active, lots of messages. It's not the shortest run in the world, so lots of energy all the way. Definitely want to hear from everyone. You do have a little bit more time if you want to put your £5 donation in to name the horse. Right, if we're all ready, I'm ready. In fact, there's one thing I want to do. Anyone who knows me knows I love Breath of the Wild, but there is a very important part of this run that gets missed, and it's called a Karok. So in the interest of honouring the Karok today, can we please, from the room, get a yahaha? Can we get it from the room with a bit of loudness so we can hear? Fab. And chat, if you feel like joining in, please do. Okay. Countcreep, are we ready? Here we go then. 5.
My god, I'm an idiot. Okay, back to the timer.
Right guys,
Take two.
These moments happen. They're called take ones and take twos. It helps. Right, we're going to try this again, everyone, for the sake of the room. It's now take 3 because I have volume on my mic again. Poor Ari, if you don't know.
I'm sorry.
She's not slept. So you know what? Let's try this one more time, everybody. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Alright, so this is Breath of the Wild. I'm CC and my co-commentator is?
I'm Phyrexis.
Alright, so this game, I'm going to be playing it in German. German is the fastest language for cutscenes. The text doesn't really matter, but it can't be in English because if the text is in English and the voice acting is in German, the voice acting will still go on until the text ends. So having it in German text and German voice makes it so the cutscene ends slightly earlier. So it just saves a couple of seconds. And also, some text boxes are slightly shorter as well, but it's not the fastest for text, but the voice acting that it saves, the time it saves the voice acting is a lot compared to the text. So I'll just be mashing through all the cutscenes, which is just pressing X and start, which is the plus button on Wii U. Oh yeah, I'm playing on Wii U. Should have mentioned that as well. So you see how this takes quite a long time. I didn't actually preload before we started. So usually what you do at the start of a run is you'd load up into the Shrine of Resurrection, then go back to the main menu and then start a run, which just preloads this area. It saves that time of that happening.
Wird dir nach deinem langen Schlummer den richtigen Weg weisen.
Just while we're going through the first sort of cutscene phase, do you want to explain what Master Sword RTA actually is? If you haven't seen the category before.
Yeah, so Master Sword real-time attack is basically just a real-time attack to the Master Sword. It's kind of self-explanatory really, but yeah, so that kind of entails of getting enough hearts to be able to pull out the sword. That's basically all we need to do. So the first glitch you're going to see here is called whistle sprinting, and basically you just hold whistle and spam B, and you run at the same speed as if you were just running normally, but your stamina meter recharges. So this is the cutscene that finishes a lot sooner, due to being on German. So you notice Link isn't really wearing anything. I didn't pick up the old shirt or the old worn trousers at the start either. So I'm not going to pick up any clothes, so Link's going to be naked for this entire run. Also, he's got no nipples. I don't know why. Mario has nipples.
Quickly, there is a £10 donation from Clever Pigeon. Hi everyone, had a great time at the marathon Friday and yesterday. Glad to have been able to show Anandine, apologies if I said that wrong, and Gun Princess Zero to a wider audience. Here's to the rest of the event. GG's to everyone who's done their runs, and good luck to everyone who's doing or about to do theirs. Let's round this UKSM off with a...
So yeah, this is the Great Plateau, the starting area of the game. It's kind of like cordoned off at the moment until we get the paraglider. Once we get the paraglider, we'll be able to go anywhere we want on the overworld map. Which includes Hyrule Castle if we wanted to go there, but there's no really any need to go there. There's only one shrine in there, and the main kind of focus of this is to get spirit orbs, to be able to get hearts, to be able to get sword. So a lot of this area is just kind of utilizing whistle sprinting and just taking a short path to the objectives that we need to get. So the first thing I'm going to get is this axe that's stuck in here. I'm not going to talk to the old man or steal his owl. So I'm going to get this axe, and then I'm going to pick up this rock on the right hand side, which will always have a lizard underneath it. And I need that lizard as part of a recipe to make a speed potion later on. So I'm annoying this guy on the right here. I'm not going to mess with him. Ignore this tube that drops out the tree as well. And then Zelda should start talking to me in a little cutscene telling me to follow the Sheikah Slate.
Link. Begib dich zu dem Ort, den der Sheikah-Stein dir weist.
So those little tooltips will happen quite far into the run, quite a few times. Every time I pick up an additional thing that I haven't had before, so like picking up some food just to eat later on. It will come up anytime I get a new item, anytime I get 2 shields or 2 swords, it'll give one saying how to switch it and things like that. So get one for the arrow here, but then I won't get it for the other arrows that I pick up around the surrounding area. I need a couple of arrows just for later on. And this is the first guy that I'm just going to ignore, but I'm going to harass him a little bit by stealing his shield. So what I did there is I just deactivated my my axe as I was swinging it, and all it did was it still did the hit, but it didn't give me the landing lag of the animation of hitting the shield. So I was able to pick up the shield immediately and just carry on running. So another quick cutscene. In this cutscene, basically all that happens is the tower rises out the ground, and all the towers in the surrounding fields of Hyrule just rise up as well. And then it just downloads the map data for Great Plateau, and then we're just going to be on our way towards the starting shrines of the game. So the starting shrines, they have kind of the key items of the game. So that's bombs, magnesis, cryonis, and stasis. Stasis is definitely the most useful out of the bunch. It's also one of the last ones I'll be getting. So I won't be doing the more refined plateau route just because it's a lot harder and the time it saves just isn't worth it for me really, so I'm not going to bother doing it. There's going to be another glitch after this little cutscene here, basically with Zelda talking to Link again. And then I'm going to do the first kind of, I don't know if it's major, I'd say kind of it's more major than Whistle Sprinting, but I'm basically just going to run off, switch the item out as I throw it, and it just cancels the damage from the fall. So in terms of health, for the majority of the run I'll just be going around on 3 hearts. After Meadow I'll be on 4 hearts, but I won't be getting any more until the very end where I need to pick up the sword. So a lot of it, it's very easy to die in a lot of places, especially with no armor. So the old man's just basically telling us that we can't get off the plateau. And he says he'll give us the paraglider if we get a treasure out of the shrine that's nearby. He doesn't actually give us the paraglider though once we get there. He tells us to go and get all the rest first. We're running over to Cryonis now. There's a chance that in some of these puddles there could be some frogs. There's one there, but I've already scared it away. Never mind. But I need basically 4 frogs later on in the game. For some speed potions. There can be some over here as well. No, there's none in there. It's completely random if they spawn or not. So it's just at the DLC on here. So the chest with the ruby on the left hand side there is is there. I'll be getting that a bit later, just to sell. I'm also going to be going and getting the ice and fire hours just for a bit of safety when I get the horse. Right after the paraglider. So this is the first shrine of the game. We'll be going through a lot of these. Some of them are a lot longer than others, some of them are really short. So the power we just got there is magnesis. Basically, this just allows us to control metallic objects in the overworld and in shrines as well. Come on, fall down. So another little glitch with the magnesis is you can actually move objects if you're attached to a magnesis. So say that rock was really heavy. Wait a second. So that rock was really heavy, but because I was attached to a block with magnesis, it does something with Link and just makes it so he's able to push around larger, heavier objects. So that happens again with a door. You can use your axe to push yourself through the door later on. That's the first spirit orb. You'll probably be seeing that quite a lot. That little sequence there. So the little guy's going to come around and talk to us now and basically tell us that he's not going to give us the paraglider like you promised he would. And then we've got to go everywhere else first in the plateau.
It's okay, we've just got a donation and a couple of shout-outs to
Yeah, sure,
do. So these couple of shout-outs are coming from the northeast, which is our home. There is a shout-out from Lisa and Gavin to Aaron James. I'm not going to chance and hope that our 2.5-year-old niece is not awake at this time of night, so fingers crossed for that. And there is also a £5 donation saying, well done James and Laura, love mum and dad.
So I'm going to pick up this ruby and go get the arrows. I'm also going to get a bit of extra food as well, just for safety. So a nice little feature with the Sheikah Slate is you can teleport to the areas that you've been to before. So if you tag a shrine and you go past it with the Sheikah Slate to open at the front doors, or if you go to a tower and light up the tower, you can teleport back to it later. So I'm just going to be using that to get to bombs a little bit faster. So just jump off there just so Link can open the Sheikah Slate up. There's a little animation that happens when you open the Sheikah Slate for the first time to go around the map, and it just kind of stops that if he's in the air. You can also start by crouching as well, but I just like the air one. So I'm going to do another fall damage cancel here off the top of the tower again. But yeah, the fall damage cancels. You probably won't see any of them anymore after I get the paraglider, just because you can just reopen the paraglider when you're falling, which should just negate all the fall damage. So it's only really useful for the start anyway. There's also a way to get out of the plateau at the start, but you can't go very far. You can get to like where the lake is on the other side. But every time you go a certain distance away from the lake, Link just dies over and over again infinitely, and the camera just goes crazy. Start zooming in and out.
I was curious about that, if you could do that.
Yeah, you can get down to the ground, like get under the death barrier, but there's so many death barriers around there that it's just impossible to get any further. But that would save quite a lot of time in any percent if you could get out, because you don't actually need the paraglider. I don't think you need anything other than the paraglider to finish the game at the moment. But you could probably finish the game if you could get out of the plateau, say with just stasis. You just go to stasis first, get out, get a horse, go to Hyrule Castle and just finish the game.
Yeah.
So you get two types of bombs. This is mostly just for like hills and things. So you can put a square one down on a hill and it won't roll away. It's quite useful. It's also useful for if you switch between the bombs, because when ones were charging, you can use them in quick succession. That was close. I'm going to place quite a precise bomb here just to be able to get up the ladder without having to use the intended method for this shrine, which is putting a bomb on the platform on the right and having it fly over, but you don't need to do that, you can just blow it up from the bottom. So I'm going to make my way over to Cryonis now. So I'm just going to go back to the Shrine of Resurrection and then just make my way up the mountain on the left hand side. There's a lot of loading screens in this game. Every time you go in a shrine, you come out of a shrine, you go into a cutscene, you come out of a cutscene. There's quite a lot of them.
Is the Wii U version actually like faster than the Switch?
In some locations, when you're going in shrines and out of shrines, the Wii U can load it faster. The Switch is better in some locations than others. It's different for every shrine, really. But for the majority of runs, the Wii U is slightly faster. But it's not been like fully tested out, really. I don't think. If it has been, I haven't like seen like the full stats, so I couldn't say for definite if it is 100% faster. But as far as I'm aware, I think it is slightly faster. So in terms of like speed of transportation in this game, the fastest method of travel is super launching, which you probably won't see at all in this run. Slowest method is obviously walking, and then it goes running, shield surfing, traveling on a horse, stasis launching, and then super launching. So I obviously don't have any cold resistance food here. I don't actually need it because I've got a little bit of food. I can just eat that little bit of food and then just make my way over to the shrine and hopefully get there before I die. So I'm just going to climb up the side of this building here. That rock, sorry, building. So with the sprinting, it's really useful to get into like steep slopes while keeping your stamina at a healthy level. So yeah, I should be fine getting to the shrine without dying here. I'll probably take damage just before hitting the platform. Yeah, there we go. So this is the Cryonis Shrine. I'll be getting the Cryonis power up for the Sheikah Slayer here. Yeah, sure, go for it.
Just while we go into Cryonis, there's a £5 donation from Chrome Tails, which for those of you who don't know in chat is actually me, aka the boss in this whole situation. So even though I'm sat announcing, I'm proud of you as always. I vote for the horse to be called Noodles.
So there's kind of a little bit of a difficult strat in this shrine that makes it a lot faster. But if the Scout Guardian on the left hand side comes close to me when I'm setting it up, the camera will lock onto the Guardian, and I'll jump the wrong way. So there's also a chance of just missing the jump at the wrong point in time. There's a lot of things that could go wrong, basically. But, this is also one of the shrines at the start that you can actually finish without getting Cryonis, by doing like a crazy shield jump. No, I didn't make it. Never mind. Not a big deal. And if you get to the end, it'll actually say you don't have Cryonis, go back. Alright. So that's the Cryonis triangle. So we're going to make our way over Stasis, which is the final one in the plateau. And then we'll be getting the paraglider after that. And then we'll be able to go anywhere in the world.
For those people who haven't seen Breath of the Wild before, when you start seeing Stasis, that is where some of the most fun parts of this run you'll see. Certainly do as well recommend for Breath of the Wild, this is one category, but there are many. Certainly check out lots of variations, because you'll see all sorts of cool Stasis bits and pieces. I'm not going to say too much at this point though to spoil it, but lots of cool stuff in that.
Yeah, there's a lot of different categories in this game. A lot of category extensions as well. Yeah, if you want to get involved in speedrunning Breath of the Wild, there is a Breath of the Wild Discord where a lot of people there are very helpful and helping set things up and teaching you about things. I'm not 100% sure if there's many in-depth tutorials of a lot of the routes. I know there's a really good one for the any percent route, but that's all I'm aware of as far as I'm concerned. But for starting out, I definitely recommend either MSRTA or all dungeons. I wouldn't recommend starting out at 90% just because of the intensity of the boss fight at the end. It's a very difficult end of the run. So again, still no cold resistance food. I'm not going to go get the doublet from the old guy. I'm just going to eat the steak and just shield slide over to the next shrine.
Then just while we make our way to Stasis, this is a good time as well to tell you we are not very far away from selecting the horse, who will be our lovely companion for this journey. Any last minute donations to name that horse, £5 please, send them in and get your votes popped in for that, because it will be coming up very soon.
Alright, so this is Stasis. Basically what it does, it just freezes an object, wherever it is, and if you do any damage to that object, it'll push it in a certain direction, which is really useful for getting places, because you can use it to launch off, so you kind of make a rock be like really stored up with the energy, and then travel in a certain direction, and if you get hit by that as it's going somewhere, you can get launched in that direction. So really helpful for that. And we'll see the first example of that as soon as I leave Stasis. So another one that charges up and should be using it to stop this boulder just to save a little bit of time. So I guess the intentional route here is to Stasis this boulder and hit it off. But I don't want to do that, so I'm just going to jump over it. So I've got a little cutscene when I exit here with the old man. He's basically going to tell me that he's going to give me the paraglider, but I've got to go somewhere else to get it this time. If that wasn't hard enough, he says it as a puzzle. He's like, meet me where the four shrines converge on your map. Couldn't just say go to the top of the tower, like at the church. He has to make it difficult.
I think it's just like pointing at it any spot you're on the map. He's just pointing at the shrine.
Yeah, he's pointing at the castle, but he doesn't actually tell you where to go. The church, sorry. He doesn't actually tell you. He says, gives you as a bit. So I'm just gonna set this bomb down. Extend it. It's not gonna go as far as I'd like because it's not red, but it should be okay. So once I get the paraglider, I'll actually be able to go a lot further. I won't have to grab on to the side of things.
Yeah, guys, I think that deserves a clap. Every stasis launch gets a clap in this game, everybody. If anyone in chat wants a challenge every stasis launch that doesn't happen, just reset the pounding.
It's all for charity every time I fall. That sounds good. So yeah, just managing stamina on the ladder there. And then just going to see the old guy. And get the paraglider. So there's 3 cutscenes here that I've skipped through. It basically is like, he just says, you've done well, tells you a backstory, and then it's like, oh, by the way, I'm the king. And then disappears and says, go help Zelda. So I'm gonna grab the bow and the little chest on the left here. And I'm gonna make my way over to first shrine outside the plateau. So for stasis launches, there is a glitch that can happen with ragdoll physics. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to shield surf, then de-equip the shield so Link falls over and then enters a ragdoll animation. And what this does is it basically just resets my physics in a way. So then when I launch off this tree, it should actually launch me and not just kind of hit me and leave me around. So I always turn around just to get extra double hits. I'm gonna have to reload there just because I don't have enough food to heal up before doing another launch. So stasis launches are very finicky. In some places they can work first try every time, but it's, if you get hit by kind of like the side of the object, it can sometimes.
It's 2.5 hour long. 2.5 hour running. That was just a warm up, everybody. Just a warm.
Yeah.
There we go.
Anyone who was tuning in earlier to Feral's run, Feral talked a little bit about audio cues are a big part of trying to do a Breath of the Wild run before stasis launching. I don't know if I could imagine seeing what that looked like doing it in silence. That's a category all in itself.
You can do it off the flashes that are on the object. If you kind of just imagine the beeping in your head, which I tried to do once, it didn't go very well. It isn't impossible. It is slightly harder just not being able to hear it. This is one of my favourite shrines in the game. You got like cool tricks one after the other. So I'm just going to throw this bomb into that from over there, and then there's a tiny gap in the ceiling. I'm just going to use that to get over without having to blow up the blocks. So for RTA, there's an incredible amount of different routes that you can use that'll all get you a relatively good time for the board. Since the DLC came out as well with the teleport saddle for the horse, there's just even more routes that came out that included that. A lot of routes that some don't even involve horses that you can just kind of, well, at some point you have to get a horse, but for a lot of the run it doesn't involve a horse. So I'm just going to teleport back to Magnesis now, and then I'm going to go get the horse. So I'll need to do a relatively difficult stasis launch off a chest. And this is the reason why I needed those arrows from the beginning, just to angle the stasis in a certain way. But yeah, the box stasis launches are really finicky. Sometimes you can have correct physics, get hit by it at the perfect time, and it'll just kind of stop you like about a second after you've launched and just not let you do it. I don't really understand why they don't work sometimes, but sometimes they just don't work. So I'm gonna do another physics reset here. I'll wait until I was at the water there because usually I can slide and fall in the river. Okay, that's fine. So I only got one heart here, and it's at the time of night in the game where bats can spawn. They'll kill me instantly. But goblins can also spawn, the skeleton versions of them. The horse could also hit me as I'm trying to climb onto it. That'll also kill me. There's a lot of things that could kill me right now. So I'm just going to hope this guy doesn't run over and kill me. He's after me. So, I did get those arrows at the start. There's the bats. So they'll be coming for me soon. So don't call Peter, please. Honestly, it doesn't feel a thing. So hopefully this is a 4-speed. It is. Okay, good.
If anyone hasn't seen Breath of the Wild, horses are the most temperamental things you can find.
Oh yeah. Like, you could be holding right and it'll go left. It just doesn't listen to anything. So I've got to get the horses kind of friendship meter up to 100. Otherwise, they won't let me put it. The lady won't let me put a saddle on the horse. So kind of doing different things to try and get the friendship meter up. So letting the stamina recharge is one way to get it to happen more often. Letting it rest after a spur. Soothing it after it gets agitated. There's a lot of different things. Soothing it after doing a jump, but it's all kind of like chance based, or whether it'll actually soothe the horse or not. There's also ways where you can say give the horse a couple of apples, like you just drop them on the floor while you're not on the while you're not near the horse, it'll start eating the apples. So usually what the shrine wants you to do for this one is it's a very convoluted way of doing it, but Reku's found a way where if you just put 2 bombs down, put a box on top of it, and then blow up the bombs, you can make it over. But obviously I'm not as good as Reku's, so I can't make it over. So I'll try that again. So sometimes the box can go really low if the bombs blow up, but it doesn't blow the other bomb up. If the box just kind of negates the explosion from hitting the other bombs, so the other ones just kind of sat around. Or they could blow up at different times and it just doesn't launch it as far as it should. Usually it's pretty consistent. It's actually the first time I failed that in a few months now. So I'm going to grab the horse now and I'm going to name it right after selling some stuff from Beetle. So if you got the horse's name, that would be great. I'm just going to grab a few things before, and I'm just going to get an axe and a couple of arrows from Beetle. I'll sell that ruby I got from the start and just buy a good chunk of arrows, just because I'm not actually 100% sure exactly how many arrows I need, and I'd rather just be safe and get an extra 7 from the Beetle. Money's not a huge issue in this game, not with that and the 500 you get later on from touring. So I'm going to talk to this guy, tell him no, I already know all about. horses and stuff, and then register the horse. I just need to know the name of the horse.
Yep, so this has been independently verified and all those lovely spiels of writing that nobody ever listens to. But the horse is going to be called Noodles.
Alright, so now every time I whistle sprint, it's going to tell me that Noodles can't come and join me if the horse is out of range, so that's going to be fun. So I'm going to wait here until morning, just because there are slightly different like wind paths and the strength of the wind in the game. And for the couple of stasis launches that are coming up, morning is going to help for that. It also stops a couple of enemies spawning at this next shrine that I'm going to. I'm actually not going to go into the next shrine either, because I do need to go up that mountain a bit later on in the run. But I want some speed potions for that and to have the power from the Meadow Dungeon. There's no need to kill those guys, I just thought a bit like this. So there's 3 shrines on top of there, and there's one at the other side of the mountain as well. But I just don't want to go there just yet. So I'm just going to tag this shrine so I can teleport back to it. And then carry on over that mountain over there. And go towards the horse saddle.
So we're obviously travelling sort of through the Twin Peaks region. It gives anyone who hasn't seen this game properly an idea just how damn pretty it is. It's a huge game and you can just sit and admire it. It looks absolutely beautiful throughout.
So I'm going to do a quick save just before I do this launch, just because it fails really often. So I'm not super high about it. Good. That did a lot of damage. Usually if this was master mode, that probably would have killed me, because in normal mode you have something called one hit protection. So when you got full health, the chances of getting one hit is really low. So there's some things that can still one hit you, but there's not really a lot of them. I'm just going to save just before hitting this tree now. And eat some food real quick. So there is a little chest with a good weapon in it that I want to get from in the ocean here. I'm just going to hit it with an arrow and pick it up. It's really nice that the chests in this game are breakable. If they're a wooden chest anyway. If they're a metal chest then you have to win them. Okay, just in case I don't get the right amount of frog spawns a little bit later on when I'm grabbing the saddle, I'm just going to pick up an extra 1 or 2 mushrooms from the side of this, which just uses an alternative to the frogs. But I'm just going to grab both of them just for safety, just in case I get really bad luck. Let's switch over to the claymore. I'm also going to eat before going in here, just because this guy always kills me. Every single run, he always kills me. I'm not 100% sure what kind of forces him to go to left or right and start shooting, but it's been happening exceedingly amounts recently. And even if you got your shield up, the last shot will always still kill you because he ends up shooting you from behind. I'm also going to try pre-shooting. So what that is basically just shooting before the cutscene starts. And you can hit him as soon as the cutscene ends. There is a way you can actually hit him during the cutscene. But I haven't actually done it yet with an ice arrow. I've done it with an electric arrow, but not with an ice so far. So it just freezes him on the spot, makes it so he can't start shooting. And then when he breaks out, he's in back through. So yeah, I just basically wanted to start attacking normally and not jump back like a douchebag. Oh. Okay. So I want the shield. Yeah, so a lot of these chests don't really have very useful items in them, so I'm probably going to be skipping most, if not all of them. There is a couple that I want to pick up though. This one's got a night shield in that I might pick up if my shield's really low on durability. And there is a giant ancient core from Lost Woods that I want to pick up for a speed potion. Basically the recipe for the speed potion is a couple of frogs and a monster part, and the monster part have like tiers to how long the potion will last. So like just an ancient screw, sorry, a guardian screw will be like one of the lowest. A core will be a bit higher, and an ancient core will be even higher than that. And things like forest shards and things will get you insane amounts of time on there, but they're really hard to they're not very easy to get in MSR here without losing a ton of time to get them. So this is a Cyberwood tree launch. This is one of the hardest ones. I don't expect to get this. I really don't, because I just haven't practiced it as much as the others. Yeah, it's really too low. I'm probably not gonna get this. Oh no, I might die. I'm okay. Alright. I was supposed to get all the way over to that shrine over there, but never mind. It's not a big deal. As long as it doesn't rain, should be alright. So I'm just going to switch over to normal arrows, just because there's a guy in this shrine that I don't want to use my fire or ice arrows on. Just want to save them for a little later.
Yeah, just to clarify, I really need to be on point with this. It's not something you want to see show up in this game. I think I've been
Yeah, rain is the worst. It makes you. The only thing it's good for is sliding down a slope in the grass, because it doesn't do as much damage to your shield. But apart from that, climbing is just a chore. You can still climb at short distance, but nowhere near as far as if it was just bouncing. So there's a really fancy strat with a bomb jump included in this shrine, but I haven't had a chance to learn it, so I'm not going to do it. So basically just grab this door and then go to the end. She's just over there.
Took me a long time to figure out you could unhinge them.
I just need to rearrange pushing this door just so I can push it up here. If that had hit me, that would have killed me. So it was very close. Yeah, so there's going to be another tree launch after this. But this one's called a rocket launch. Basically, it's just an upward tree launch where you just hang out at the side of the tree. I'm not expecting I'm getting the side of the tree, because the angle of the tree goes, it falls down a lot faster than other trees. Not as fast as apple tree, fast. So it's hard to get it.
back on everybody.
That's close. Alright, so that wasn't supposed to happen. Yeah, I didn't grab onto the tree for long enough. Usually if you're unsettled or you move at any point during the launch, it'll just throw Link off. So, I wasn't on the tree for long enough, basically, there. But it's not a big deal. I'm basically just going over towards this hill over here. So, I'm just going to travel to the other side of this hill, grab a couple of carrots, just to help with launches later on. And grab some of the frogs and the teleport saddle for the horse. So the teleport saddle is really useful. So if you're on a horse and you come to a river with like no bridge that's nearby, you can just jump over the river and teleport your horse back to you. And also if you teleport to a different location, the horse will just teleport to you no matter where you are. Apart from being in the desert or the Gerudo Mountains. Gerudo Mountains? Sorry, Goro Mountains. So I'm just going to bully some frogs with a bomb, just so they don't run away. So I want a roundabout 4 here. I'm not going to go for that one because he's really far away. Okay, yeah, I'm going for that one because there's no one on this side. Yeah, I only got 3, so I'm glad I picked up those mushrooms earlier on. And I'm just going to grab the horse saddle from here. Then we're going to lose stasis launch coming up real soon, so I'm just going to reset my physics. It's fine that my shield broke. It's not a huge deal.
Actually making this horse is useful.
So
Yeah.
sadly, actually see in this run is from one of the DLC. It's not actually part of the original Breath of the Wild, but it's so friendly.
Really low.
Still a good one.
So I'll probably lose speed before I get to this mountain. I should be able to still make it over to the mountain though, hopefully. Actually, I'm pretty low. Yeah, I've lost speed really early. I'm not going to make it all the way. So the shrine's just literally on the side of that rock there, where the power ladder is. So I'm just going to go to the side and just go around. So I'll be going to that stable in a moment and just getting the horse, and I'll be putting the saddle on the horse. And hopefully the horse will have enough friendship meter to be able to complete it. This is another one of my favourite shrines as well, just because of how long I spent doing it casually, and then seeing the speedrun start of it and just wondering why I spent like half an hour in the shrine trying to figure out how to do it.
Yeah, me too.
And that's it done.
Spent a lot of time on this one as well.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna be buying a few different items from Beetle in the shop below. I'll say a few different items. They're just frogs. It's just 3 frogs. That's all I need. It'll just be for a speed potion that I need to make. And I'll be making 2 here, I think. Oh no, actually no, I won't be making any because I don't have any monster parts. I don't think. No, I don't. So
Just while Link does some shopping, we ought just quickly mention the charity again.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, so just while we do some shopping, we've finished the incentive for Breath of the Wild, but it doesn't mean we need to stop donating the charity's special effect. We've already smashed what we intended to do. No reason though why we can't keep going, you know, a couple £100 extra, 2,000 is certainly doable between us all. Just a reminder, the link to donate is going across the bottom of your screen intermittently, but it is uksmlive.com/donate. Again, all money we raise over the course of this weekend goes to Special Effect, which is all about helping people with physical disabilities access gaming by modifying equipment to level the playing field and promote inclusion. So again, keep the donations coming, keep everyone happy, lots of energy in chat, and hopefully Beetle has got what we want and we can carry back on.
Alright, so the friendship level is at max, so she'll actually let me change the saddle on the horse. And the saddle's extremely useful. So that little glitch just basically turns the horse around instantly if you just zoom in as you get on the horse. Just takes a little bit of time. So I'll be coming up soon to one of the biggest shrines, but there's a nice little skip inside the shrine, so you don't have to do a lot of it. Hopefully when there's a couple of guardians in there that get hit by a boulder, I want them all to drop like 2 or 3 of the same item, so I want like 2 screws or 3 screws. So I'll be doing a little trick in this shrine. It's just a standard bomb jump. I say standard, it's only that because there's a high bomb jump as well, and the high bomb jump is just so much cooler. It doesn't get you as far as the standard bomb jump does. So I might end up resetting the shrine if it doesn't go right first time. Okay, we made it. So I'm just gonna eat, just in case. Yeah, if I didn't eat there, the roll would have killed Link. I'm just gonna cut that wire just so it starts burning the leaves underneath that rock, and that'll kill 2 guardians nearby. And get one of the strongest swords in the game out of this chest. And then hopefully these guys give me springs. Okay. So if they give me different types of drops, I would have got another tooltip, basically telling me that this is the first time you picked up the item. Also, I whistled a bit too early there, so this guy's gonna harass me. I'm just gonna try and avoid him, and just push this door open with the axe. There is a really cool strat for that shrine. When the boulder opens the door, there's a little bit of water on the right of it, and you can actually do a shield jump off an ice block and land on the top part of the shrine, and you can just kind of run to the end. But it's unbelievably hard. So I'm going to be going to one of the laggiest shrines in the game. It actually takes the longest to load this shrine over anything else in the game. It's also annoyingly the closest one to Hyrule Castle, so for all dungeons and Master Sword and dungeons and things like that, it's really annoying for people doing this one. So I actually don't think we've seen these yet. These are the decayed guardians. There is some full-size ones around. There's one on the hill over there. Basically, they just shoot like a giant laser at you.
They also hurt really bad.
So there's a full-size Guardian coming up on the left. Sometimes you can see me, but because I came on the right side of that the tower, he's got a lot less chance of seeing me from a far distance. So there's a flying Guardian over there. Usually they don't see you very much. They're not really that dangerous, just because of how far away they stay. The K1's going to see me, but it'll be out of line of sight, so it'll have to be able to hit me. So this is another test of strength. Because I had saved one ice arrow, I'm going to be using that for a pre-shoot, and hopefully when he comes out of the ice, he doesn't jump back. He just kind of sits there. That's what I'm hoping. Stop me. This is bad. If he let off that laser, I probably would have died, so a little bit close. Yeah, so you're going to be seeing one of the first uses of the horse with the teleport saddle. So it's a little strange how it works. It'll spawn it'll teleport the horse and spawn it next to you, but the direction the horse faces is weirdly based on the camera position. So when I'll be running over this hill, I'll just have to turn the camera around, so I'll be just like looking Link in the face rather than looking where I'm going. Because the horse always faces towards the camera for some reason. I don't understand why, but it just makes it easier just to get moving in the right direction and actually turn around. Cool. Over. So the entrance to this shrine is just behind these this vulnerable rock here. They want it to burn all the ivy away, but you can just glide in there. And another minor test here. I'm not going to put my shield up. If he does shoot me... Oh, he doesn't. Okay, that's fine. I want him to swing. He's not going to... I hit it when he don't stop. Oh, no. Makes it so you're going to travel a lot further to get towards the gate. Which is a nice way to have if you have ice arrows through all of those minor tests, they always kind of jump back or just kind of hover around where they are. Which makes it a little quicker to get towards the gate once it's opened.
list if there's anyone who hasn't seen Breath of the Wild before. The reason we're doing all these shrines is at the end we keep getting token emblems, whatever you like to call them at this point. Every 4 is equivalent to 1 heart, and that's why we're currently working through the shrines as we go along.
Yeah, we need 13 hearts to pull out the sword. And we get one of the full heart pieces from Meadow, so we'll be going and doing that boss very shortly. So I'm going to use this box to get towards the next shrine a little quicker. So I can get out of here by just doing a quick shield jump. So I kind of didn't want it to be all the way over, but never mind. But I'm just going to reset my physics again. And switch to the hammer. Another useful use of the horse again. So I'll be using the horse to get a bit further on into the route. So I'm actually not going to do the shrine yet because I want to be going to Meadow soon. So I'm going to use that shrine to teleport to and then go to Meadow from there. But first I want to go into the Lost Woods, which we can do via a stasis launch from one of the sides of the island. Normally it's not supposed to be allowed to do that, but the amount of like area where the fog starts to gather isn't very thick, so you just be able to just skip through it. It is quite a hard trick though, this Lost Wood skip. I feel it on the reg. I think my PB with this route has 3 attempts at Lost Wood skip, so I'm not going to be upset if I don't get a first try. It also, it'll be nighttime by the time I get there as well. So enemies also spawn right next to where you do the launch from, so there's a lot of things that can make the launch go wrong. So I'll be going to that shrine in just a sec. I'm just going to go over here and get the one that's tucked away in the side of the mountain. So these are called vulnerable rocks. It doesn't really make sense because you can use a hammer on them, but they're called vulnerable rocks. This shrine is just one of the game's many blessing shrines. Basically, it's just kind of like a reward for whatever you did in the overworld. So breaking those rocks was the puzzle, I guess. So yeah, the blessing shrines are really short. You just kind of got a chest and the end of the shrine. So I'm just going to quickly check how many fire arrows I've got, because if I've got one, I'll be able to just use a tree and some wood to be able to change the time to morning. If not, I might go to the stable and just rest up, just so the enemies don't spawn at the Lost Wood skip. No, I don't have any. Okay, never mind. So there is that pot, I could rest there, but I have to kill the enemies, and I don't really have anything that's like super strong that can kill them really easily. The only thing I've got is the Edge of Duality, but I need that for later on. I'll go to the shrine first, and then I'll go to the stable and just change the time. So this shrine is it's quite a complex puzzle shrine. Basically, what it wants you to do is grab a ball from the left-hand side, and then take it up on the platform, launch over with the ball, move around the platform, and then take it over the bridge, and move that platform around, and then launch again, and then break the boxes and put the ball in the hole. But we don't want to do any of that, so we're just going to throw the ball over the wall. I'm putting this down to this stable, and I'm going to head over towards the other mountains over there. Oh, it's a mine. So if I'd found flint anywhere else, I could have made a fire with that, but it would be in the stable. So there is a Lionel around here as well. He's just in that field over there. He doesn't really pose a threat. But usually there's a goat that spawns in the area with it. And they always seem to be looking at each other. I don't understand why. Where is he? Usually around there, I don't know. Oh, there he is. Oh, the goat's not there though. Oh no. Yeah, the Lionels are one of kind of the stronger enemies in the game. They have the most health, I think, out of anything. I think they have more health than Calamity Lion. I'm not 100% sure on that one.
Might be actually.
Yeah.
They're really tough.
The golden Lionels definitely have a really hefty amount. Alright, do you see where to get a Korok seed in this? What is it? Straight up not here. Never mind, we're looking.
And just for anyone who hasn't actually played Breath of the Wild or not really ever seen the game, there are 900 of these little dudes. There he is!
Yeah, so he just gave me his poo. Like, I don't know why. We accepted it, we did. I'm just gonna save real quick. So this is Lost Woods Skip. I just want to do a quick reset. Close. Alright, I could still void out. It's a really high chance, but I want to basically get into the void. Reset, and then just be able to get into the Lost Woods. Okay, we got it. Okay. These guys could still kill me. Basically, I just want to put that shield in the mouth, grab that chest, and put it in the mouth of the other tree that's in the middle of the lake. These guys that spawn can kill me very easily. So it does give you a leaf to get over here, but you can just use the chest.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, no. there's a lot of cool like little things like that. Like if you do that with a chest, but put it in a minecart, you can ride the minecart around like a go-kart. If you get a cork leaf and you get a boat, like a little raft thing, and if you de-equipped and re-equipped to a different weapon and then go back to it after every swing, the speed will just be like insane. You can just literally glide over land. How fast you go with it. There's a lot of cool little physics things you can do with this game. Okay, so here's another one of those blessing shrines. But I do want the item of this blessing shrine. So that'll make a speed potion last a lot longer. There. So I'm supposed to have a speed potion on right now, but because I didn't pick up a monster far from the beginning, which is just recently, I've just started doing that. So just forgot to pick one up. It's not a big deal though. It'd just be kind of used for getting to the shrine, running through the shrine, going up, completing the next one, and then the Lost Pilgrimage, and then after that you're back on the horse. So. I want to go back to the center of the Lost Woods now, so I can just basically because I'm in the area, I now just need to leave into the fog, and then the fog will take me back to the start of this kind of mini challenge trial thing. And I can just run back to where the Deku Tree is in the Master Sword. So I'll be going past and getting the mini cutscene with the Master Sword, but I won't be able to pick it up yet. Just due to the amount of spirit orbs that I have at the moment. But it is faster to go in here now and do a few things while we're here. Yeah, there is a really hard bomb jump strat in this shrine. I'll try it once. I'm not expecting it to work. It's really, really awkward to get it high enough. So I'll probably just hit it and fall. It could also kill me as well, the fall, just because of Link rolling around on the ground. But I'll give it a shot. If it doesn't work, it's not a big deal. So I'll just do the strat, the intended route, which is just basically putting these in the right holes. I didn't really mention about the speed difference. So like, even if you got like a 3-speed portion, it's actually still faster to use the paraglider. So any time that you can use the paraglider at any point, it's definitely worth doing. So to get to the next shrine, it's just at the end of one of the little trials in the Cork Forest, which is the Lost Pilgrimage. And basically, it's just kind of following a guy until he gets to the shrine, and then he says he found it all on his own. So he basically kind of leads you there, but if you know the way, you don't actually need to follow him, you can just go ahead of him. But you can't let him see you. If he sees you, you get to go back and start. There is a way to do a height launch, basically just across the entire area and just land at the shrine. And it is really impressive to see that, just because of how close it is for you to getting voided out. But it's just impossible for me to do it. I've never got it once, so I'm not even going to attempt it. So I have to talk to this guy just to start off the quest. already. Yeah, okay, here we go. I think? No, I'm lost.
I think out of the 4 shrines that are in Lost Woods, this is the most painful.
Wait, have I put the wrong one? I might have put the wrong one. Yeah, I put the wrong one. See, in the old route, after doing that shrine, you always came at the bottom left. And I guess I just wasn't thinking. I came down here. So I'm just gonna go around and go do one. So you can use the horse in the area, but there's just because of all the Koroks that dip down, you can't actually see them, but the horse just gets spooked by where they dip down, and there's just kind of a lot of roots in the surrounding areas and things. It's just not very easy to navigate around. So I just run around into the fog and go around this tree, just so the Korok that's trying to find the area can see me. And I've just got to navigate through the Lost Pilgrimage just to get there. So I use that little beehive up there as a little marker. And there's a tree on the left here I use. It actually, you're meant to go through there, but you can just run around, it's not a big deal. And there's some more flowers somewhere around here. Yeah, that's the correct way. There we go.
Typically, if you do the shrine casually, do not pick the flowers as you go.
Yeah, because if you get caught or you void out, you'll never know the way to go. Yeah, another blessing shrine. This is the last one we'll do in Lost Woods, and the next time we'll come here is just at the end when we get the sword. So I'm going to go back to Zelda in the kind of honeycomb looking canyon. Complete that shrine and then go towards Meadow and do a couple of shrines on the way there. I'm just going to teleport back here, spawn my horse again just before I go in. And there's not a super difficult strat, but it feels really satisfying when you get it first try. Basically, in this shrine, there's a button and a platform that raises up. It only raises up a little bit. It's supposed to just kind of throw you just far enough to be able to land in like a little gap once you've extended the platform out by putting 2 balls in 2 kind of like ancient sockets on either side. But we don't actually need to put the balls in because you can still make the jump if you jump at the right time as the platform goes up. Yeah, it's not super difficult, but it feels super satisfying when you get it first time. Never mind. So I'm going to be heading off to one of the Cass quest shrines now. Basically, Cass is a kind of a traveling, I think he's a Rito.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. He's just like a traveling Rito that just kind of plays an accordion, and like tells you songs, and the songs are quite often puzzles of how to get to the shrine. We don't actually need to talk to cast. We can just complete the puzzle straight away. There's actually multiple different ways to complete this one. Basically, you've got to get an arrow through two different kind of circular pieces of stone. There's kind of two holes. There's a few different holes, like just dotted around the place. And if you get one arrow through two of them, it unlocks the shrine. And there's actually two different places you can do it that I know of. There might be more. There's one of the circular holes there, and there's a few more down here. So because the shrine spawns like over there in the corner, towards like the edge of the cliff, you can just pass it to the solution that's over here. And then in this shrine is my 100% favourite strat.
Nice shot.
So I want a square bomb, a shield equipped, and I think that's everything. I don't think I need anything else. That's everything. So there's kind of like the two balls, you've got to kind of guide them down into kind of like two different sockets. That's not what I want to do. Alright, it's really bad. You think it'd break? Come on now. There we go.
Nice.
Because the door isn't open, they just kind of fall bombs. Yeah, you're supposed to put the two balls on the top left and right. You're supposed to kind of navigate them down with the two buttons, but you can just kind of launch them over. It's the only shrine that I use in this route that does the high bomb jump. I just love doing it. It's just so much fun. It's a shame when your shield breaks though. Oh yeah, that can happen a lot. It's really, especially when you're right next to him and you try to go onto him. There's also there's a glitch in this game as well where if you're chasing an animal like that you can mount, like a deer or a stag, if you get onto it as it disappears, like if it despawns, Link will just kind of be sat in the air and just won't be able to do anything. It's just a complete soft-off. I think if someone comes and hits you, like an enemy, I think you can get out of it. But, as far as I'm aware, he just kind of sits there in midair and doesn't do anything.
That's Meadow in the distance, right?
Hmm?
The enemy is like the thing.
Yeah, the bird in the sky, that's mine.
Sorry everyone if you could hear me laughing there. We have a lot of private jokes at the moment when it comes to Meadow.
She made up a song and everything. Don't sing the song, please. Don't sing it.
I will hum the song crying.
No, please. Don't do it. So yeah, we're coming up on kind of the entrance towards Rito Village here. There's just one shrine here I've got to do. I speak to Torrin, steal his money off him, and then leave. He basically wants me to go to a fairy fountain with it, but we just don't ever talk to him ever again.
So this man entrusts you with his money, and a lot of money, to fulfill his lifelong dream, and you just sit there.
Yeah. To be honest, when you go back and say you've done it, he's just like, well, cool. What more do you want? He's just not really bothered at all. just need. You don't actually have to go up here. I think that hit the wall. Didn't blow up. Oh no, it did. Okay, that's fine. So that button actually doesn't become active until you put the ball in the hole. So I was a little bit nervous about shooting that one.
I felt that like shrine glitch on me one time where like the thing at the top wouldn't permanently open the door, would just close back down.
Was that an electric shrine? Electric shrine?
I think no, I just I shot an arrow at it and the gate would open for like a second and then close down again.
Oh, it was like a shrine with lasers in.
The same one.
What, that one?
Yeah.
Oh right. Sweet. Because there's like shrines that have like ones that are going to be activated permanently. I think it's one of the DLC shrines that like has a like electricity running all along the side, and it makes it so you have to have the electricity running constantly, and then it puts all the buttons on the right side of it. So I'm just going to grab a couple of things from here. I might not need the sword, but I'll grab it anyway. Link, jump. So I don't really need a lot of this stuff. Most of it is just for safety. If things go wrong, I don't have a save, things like that. So this is turn. Gives you 500 rupees to go give it to the fountain, but we just leave them and never speak to them ever again. And then we just make our way over towards Meadow. And the horse is like really annoying. So yeah, that tall rock there and that bird there is Meadow. So we're going to Rito Village, buying a few things from the shop, completing the shrine, doing a quick cutscene, and then I'll be going over to the flight range, just to be able to forward on the story, to be able to go up and fight the boss inside the dungeon. So I'm going to eat the food real quick and save. So there's sometimes that this launch, you can just fall up really short, and then you just end up in the water at the bottom, and you can't make it all the way across. So I'll quick safety saving here, just in case. So we're going to make it to one of those platforms on the right there, and the wind's going to come in and push us the wrong direction. Oh, okay, I didn't know that was going to happen.
Yeah.
So you can make it all the way to the village, but I want to get some fishes from the pond that's in the third island. I'm just gonna recharge my stamina there, use this updraft, and then I'll be on the island. It's pretty low, I don't want to jump again. So I'm just gonna bully the fishes again. Get the frogs. And then can use another rocket launch to be able to get it in the middle. Let's just line this up. I might be too early. The bomb I'll probably kill myself. Right. So there is a cutscene when you first land in Meadow, but I hope that doesn't hit me. Okay. we want to get as close as we can towards this guy, so we can start the next section.
So, for anyone who hasn't seen, Meadow is the bird. The bird is in the sky. Probably we don't get to see the cutscenes. I think we kind of have to mention Meadow's actual champion. The most egotistical bird you will ever meet, Rivali. It's ironic he has the most probably useful in the majority of the speedruns of the four Divine Beasts powers.
Yeah.
Any special message for Rivali?
I'm glad he died. So a couple of cutscenes. I think it's going to be a flashback to when he's standing on Rivali's landing. But we just skip through that again. And then we're just going to go over to the shrine that's on the island. Complete that. Do a bit more shopping for some cold resistance. And a couple more hours, and then we'll be going towards the first dungeon. I want some of that cake. Am I allowed? No? Okay.
We're going to bring it out after the last run, but I mean it's...
Oh, no. I'll wait, it's fine.
Cool.
So I'm going through the cutscene down, just throw it out there. Favorite Divine Beast, everybody? Here we go. No, favorite Divine Beast?
Ruda.
I would say Meta.
Well, I'm going to say Ruta because Ruta is just awesome and it has like the most amazing character that you get to work with when you do Ruta.
So yeah, there is a bomb jump strat for the shrine, but I've again never got it once. It's just one of them things that just never works. So I'm just gonna do it. What?
Oh.
I just hope I don't need arrows and anything. So I think I do. No, I'll be fine. Yeah, so I'm just gonna go do some more shopping in the shop. Crazy, I know. And then I'll be going over towards East out middle, doing a quick another shrine on the way. So yeah, there's some just a few items I need here. I only need one pack of 5 of bomb arrows as well. I don't need any more than that. So the game can sometimes load on the overworld if you go too fast between a couple of locations. It also happens that an exceeding amount when you do super launches. The game just spends half the time loading. But you can get to really far places doing super launches. Yeah, so for this category, we don't upgrade our stamina at all. So for Meadow, similar to all dungeons where I don't think they have any stamina upgrades either at this point. Just using one bar to hit 5 different like targets in the target area is quite difficult. So what I'm going to try and do is after the bar runs out, you can still fire some more arrows, but the game just returns to the normal running speed. So as I'm falling at the normal speed, I'm going to try and hit the final 2 targets. I usually only ever get one of them, but it's not a huge deal. So I'm just going to do a little bit of cooking. And then just the fish, nothing like that. Oh no. It's only 2 speed. It's just these 2. And then I'm gonna eat the cold resistance. Start the cutscene for this. So Rivali just based Rivali. I forget his name. Tether, that's his name. It just basically wants to just prove yourself and hit 5 arrows, hit 5 targets in the time frame. So some of these updrafts have like they have special properties. So every time you put away your paraglider and you take it out again, it refills your stamina bar. So this will happen here. It also happens on kind of the boss room for entering Meadow also. I missed it. I almost got it.
Yeah, not that you're a champion and a legend, you have to prove to a bird that you can hit targets. You've got the credentials. Would like to find out a couple of people in chat. Really nice to hear from everybody, and I do personally love the comment from the 4th box 01. I wish cooking were that easy. Yeah, don't we all?
So this is the only dungeon we actually go to in this run. It's the quickest one just because of how many shrines there are around the area. That's why I apologize if this section hurts your eyes. The shield is really bright.
Ich zähle auf dich. Pass auf!
Yeah, basically I'm just going to hit these turrets with 2 bomb arrows each.
Gut so. Genau richtig.
This is another area that refreshes the stamina when I re-up and fire rather.
So wird's gemacht. Nur noch, es ist los.
How did I miss? More loading screen. The next cutscene basically just shows that Teba got shot, so he can't come in and help you. So he kind of just drops us off. And then we start hearing Vali's voice, which is so much better in Japanese. Oh my god. It sounds unbelievably cocky in the Japanese voice acting.
Das ist der
So I'm not actually going to get the map like it told me to, because I don't actually need it for anything. We can complete this dungeon without actually getting a map.
So this is like the only one you can play without getting a map, right?
Yeah. I think you can almost do Ruler with that one now. You can get like almost all of them. I don't know
Just
why.
almost.
I don't know why that came up here. This is a bad idea. Oh my God.
Kontrollen.
Yeah, because of the way the dungeon works in Nagurus, that's currently impossible to get all of the terminals. There's only one of them as well that we need to be able to get to make it mapless, and that's the one that's trapped inside the box. You have to spin around to the opening. I'm just gonna lie down here, put this one. So I like the way that this dungeon was designed, because if you're down here and you die, if you spawned back in there, you'd be soft locked. There's nothing to be able to do. You'd have to like load a previous save. So they made it so that ground was kind of like an off limits ground, so you can spawn back in this room and you can just kind of carry on. And use this updraft just to get across to the other one. Oh yeah, I should make this. This is fun. So you don't actually have to kill that eyeball, but you just need like a couple of pieces of food. You can just land on the right hand side and just jump over. Not after the eyeball. So that eyeball has a some ice arrows in, which I need for the boss. And it's a wooden chest again, so I don't need to actually open it.
While we're flying around Meadow, you know, as you do. Just a shout out, Stoneman3 says, good luck, have fun. Icy D7 is in chat and says hiya.
Hello.
Just for anyone who didn't see yesterday's run, Icy D7 along with Behemoth were running the Co-op Resident 5. And when the VOD does get up, certainly worth having a look. It was a very adventurous race.
Sei vorsichtig, ist sehr treffsicher.
This is a Windblight gun. It can be very random. You can also kill me in one shot. Okay. That's his first phase down. So you'll always teleport at the start of the second phase unless you're in the air and quite close to him. I'm not
Der
going to be
alte
that close, so
Pass auf!
I'm just going to wait until he finishes teleporting. So what I want to do is I want to get 3 bombs off, land, and then get 3 arrows off. Ice arrows, sorry. And then by the time my bar recharges, oh, he's already teleported. By the time the bar recharges, you fire up another 3 and that's the fight over. That's it. So that's Meadow done. So I'm going to be carrying on with the next part. I'm just going to quickly go to a shrine that's just on another shrine that's just on the outskirts of Rito town, Rito village. Sorry. So now we're Valley's Gale. It's really useful for getting to high places, and also climbing mountains, things like that. I'm just going to grab this torch and then change the time of day to midday.
I think your pouch is full.
Hmm?
Your weapon thing is full. Just set it.
I know I shouldn't take this off. There we go. Yeah, so the way to unlock this shrine is to basically have fire be on the platform. So we can just kind of light a torch on fire and then put it there. We can't look any other way than on the torch though, because if you look away from it, there's a chance that it could despawn. And the further away you get, the higher risk it is. So it's always a good idea just to keep looking at it. So for this next shrine, the speed strats have evolved quite a lot for this one. So you've got to fire a ball out of a cannon to unlock like a button, and then platforms will start kind of like moving out of the way of the button, and you've got to fire it at the right time to get in there. So then that evolved into you could just fire a bomb arrow at the button, and the button would just open. And now we don't even just touch the button; we just jump over the wall. So it's quite cool the way this shrine's evolved. So now I'm not 100% sure which one I go to. I don't think I go to the mountain yet. I think I'll go that later. I'm pretty sure I go through... there's kind of like 2 little trails that you go through to like start collecting shrines along the way. But I'm unsure which trail it is. I think it's the one going towards the mountains. So I'm going to go there. So I need a total of 36 shrines to be able to pull out the sword, because we've already got 1 heart from Meadow, and we start with 3. So we need to get the 13 hearts. For every 4 spirit orbs, we can get a heart container from one of the statues that we pray at. One of these will feature of the teleporting horse. We don't have to go to the stable to get the horse out. So this lady's going to shout at me if I step on any of the flowers, so I've got to avoid them all. She doesn't want if the horse steps in the flowers, so she's fine with that. Don't understand why. But it was a cool little, a little glitch that, well, not a glitch, just like a quirky thing that I found on day one. I got caught by her twice. So when I eventually got to the shrine the third time, I threw a bomb out and blew it up just as I pressed the button on the terminal. And when I finished the shrine and came out, she then shouted at me again.
I never thought of using the ice blocks on that one.
Yeah, there is a strat that you can use the ice blocks at the very start where the platforms come out. If you put it under the platform in a certain way, it'll get tilted really high, and you can do a jump off the end of it and get onto the top right of the platform. But to get the platform high enough, it's really difficult to be able to get it. So it loses more time than it saves if you miss it once.
Me okay to squeak a donation in?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So there is a £100 donation come from Ari. So, to the runners, staff, and viewers of this year's event, your support and generosity is overwhelming. I'm so glad I could be part of this event, even as small as it is right now. I've met so many great people from helping out here, even over just in the last few days. Thank you. Here's to go towards the 2,000 mark, and also for every death Salad takes in the upcoming Celeste run, I'm going to donate an extra £1. Capping this at 100 deaths, because if Salad exceeds that, he's almost definitely just trying to meme me. Awesome.
Alright, so it's raining now, which is really not good, because I need to cook some food and I can't cook food in the rain. So I'm hoping that... Oh, I don't know what's going to happen actually. I'm not going to be able to cook food at all, I don't think. I'm just going to have to go without. Yeah, so I can skip talking to Beetle. He gives me an ancient arrow just for talking to him the third time. But we don't really need that. It's not really any useful anywhere anyway, because the only thing it would be useful for is for killing a Scout Guardian in a minor test. But it doesn't actually kill it in one shot, so it's pointless really. Oh, cool. That's really short. These guys always shoot me, so fuck 'em. Yeah, if it's still raining, I'll just skip Beetle. I don't need to talk to anyone else, I don't think, so I can just go straight on to the next shrine, which is one of the hardest two tricks, one after the other, for me anyway. It's something that I always fail. I made a setup for the first one as well that was really consistent, but recently it's just stopped working, and I don't really understand why. The reason why I'm still kind of soothing the horse is that it's a good indicator of when I can dash again. Like, that's literally the only reason. There's no reason for it. I know it sounds a little bit annoying. I apologize about that, but. Right. So yeah, there's two sections to this. Basically, there's like some balls in the water, and you just got to kind of get them out of the water with a scoop. But I just want to skip the scoop altogether. Oh, I hit the. Okay, it went in. That was lucky. It hit the guardrail.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm just gonna highlight casually I hit it this shrine.
And this one, you can deep dive into the area. You can actually clip out of bounds there as well if you hit the corner, which is really unfortunate because you can't get out. You just drown.
So first try on both of them. Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah, that second one, sometimes you just kind of like get hurt in the air, stop and just fall in the water where you are. You don't kind of move forward. And if you're too far forward, you'll hit the wall and just kind of roll down and then roll back up and just be before the area. So you've got to get like just right to be not like surface before you're under the little archway. Because when the water like goes down, it's just like a doorway. So it's pretty hard to get under there. So from here, there's only actually a few more until we're on the kind of final section of the shrines. So I'm gonna quickly go over here. So we complete this one. This one has like quite a difficult shield jumping, and then this kind of like a really swaggy barrel throw strat that I've got like once that I'm gonna try and get it. If it doesn't work, it's not a big deal. And we're just kind of going to go towards the mountain and complete some shrines on the way. There's a minor test, a shrine that takes like literally 5 seconds, and a couple more after that. So I need to kind of avoid this this Zora that's in the water over there, because she'll start a cutscene with me if I go anywhere near her. So I just kind of want to stay pretty quick. Okay, so if you go anywhere like in a big circle, there's kind of like a ring around there. If you go anywhere near it, she'll start cutscene with it, which is really annoying. The shooting was there. It's a little difficult. I might have to load some checkpoint as well if I should do it. So, yeah. That should be fine. Yeah.
Nice.
Oh. Depending on the way it lands, it just rolls over and just kind of stops on the button.
Count, just a quick message from Feral saying, good luck CC, no Wi-Fi on the coach, so can't watch for long.
Okay, there's a few different options of how you can get over to the next one. There is a tree just at the side there. You can use that in stasis launch, and then you can land kind of over where those trees are near there, and then launch again from there. But I don't really have kind of the equipment to be able to do that. And also, I just find it easy just to get on the horse. It's not that slow, that much slower really. So I prefer to just use the horse. I ran the minor test here with the Guardian in it. I think I've still got some nice arrows. Yeah, I do. So hopefully this goes a little bit better. Also going to eat the speed potion that I made earlier. It's only a 2 speed, but it's not a big deal. They'll be refreshed with the 7-minute 3 speed shortly anyway. Another instant pre-shoot in there. That might miss just because how late I shot that. And there was a little bit to the left. Okay, that's fine. Same as a green. I want to be missing. So just had to do a quick reset there.
Okay, to squeak in a donation?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so we have a £25 donation from Agathor86. £5 per death for my run earlier. Thank you to the staff for putting on the event and to all the runners. It's been great meeting you. And just to quickly close out a couple of things from chat again, lots of nice bits and pieces coming in. But Bodicus Snail, just want to highlight, I am not ignoring you, I promise. Steb left several hours ago, so you have got me until the end of shift. Congratulations, I'm sure you're thrilled. But to bring the magic of Steb back, I do promise all the VODs will be uploaded in due course, and you can experience the magic as much as you want to then.
Yeah, this shrine's not really a shrine. It's just in front of the wall. Yeah, I can't teleport the horse in this area, just because it's classed as part of the mountain. So I just have to run to the next area. Which is just this, the shrine's just on top of this hill. And then we'll be doing a launch over to the final shrine in this section, and then we'll be going over to the final run through of 5 or 6 shrines. So I'm going to launch over to the shrine that's over there, and I'll be teleporting over back to where the shrine that I tagged almost at the very start, the one near the mountain. So I'm just going to set this up real quick. This guy can hit me, and I'm at the top of that staircase, so I jump just to make sure I don't get hit. Let me just throw it on towards this gate, just to lower that platform down at the bottom. Just thinking about it, I actually can't remember the solution for the 2 puzzle shrines on top of the mountain. Basically, the solution for one is what the other one's set up as when you go in there, and vice versa. But I actually can't remember the solution. Usually I have it written down in my notes, like what the solution is. So I think I'll just do 2 different shrines instead. There's one not far away after what's supposedly the last shrine. And then I guess I could just do the test of wood when I go back to the forest, so it's not a big deal. I can just route 2 different shrines instead, which is something that's really good about RTA. There's so many different options of shrines, with there being 120 of them, and you only need like 36. Especially when those shrines are actually not much slower than going to different places. So that means I don't need to go to the top of the mountain. So I'm just gonna go down the right side of the river, go to the one on the left that's halfway down the mountain, and then carry on and go to the other 2 instead. shrine's pretty similar. It's just supposed to be one of the tutorial shrines for like the paraglider, just showing you how to use it and when to fix it, things like that. But it's not super difficult.
So if I saw that right, that leaves 4 shrines to go.
Yeah.
4 shrines to go. And guys, just while we're in a loading screen there, just to remind you, there is one more run following this, which will be the Celeste run. And that'll be run by iSalad, which ironically, for those of you who did tune in last year, is the man who opened the show. And this year will be the one wrapping it up for us. We'll be having a lot of fun with, I'm sure, with deaths in that one. But in Breath of the Wild, we are going to have no deaths. We're going to have a nice clean 4 shrines. And like I said, let's enjoy the last bit of this one.
Revalis Sturm ist bereit.
Actually, I'm not sure how high the shrine is. It might be a little bit too high. So we're valid scale up from the left side. So I'm just going to take it a bit safe and go around here. As I say, this is on the fly route instead of the solution. The shrine's at the top of this one. Oh, it's only there. Never mind. I thought it was a lot higher than that.
Me too.
I'm also going to do a quick reset just before going in as well. Hopefully the shield doesn't break. Okay, it didn't. Good. So there's another standard bomb jump in this shrine. Just to be able to get across the first gap. You can do it across the second gap as well, but it's so much harder.
That was close.
That was really close. Oh.
Oh.
Feels like you got the hard bit in the first try and you actually just get the ball in a hole to collect it.
That's really precise, that last one. Yeah, it is. You gotta let go like just as it hits the line, and I did it just after it went on the line. So thing goes fine. Sometimes the horse goes over that rock and goes into the lake, but Sometimes it just stops there. It's not a big deal. Just jump down. So this shrine, there's quite a nice little skip for it. So what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to put ice blocks down in a certain pattern to be able to block the ball and to guide it into the socket at the bottom. But there's a lot easier solution than putting all the ice blocks down and waiting for it to fall all the way down.
Wow.
Just hit it off to the side.
That's a really nice skip.
Yeah. I don't know who found it, but it's cool. So yeah, 2 more. I think I have my Gale still, so the Trial Wood Shrine shouldn't be too difficult to do. I'm gonna have an extra teleport though, which is sad, but never mind. Yeah, usually I don't do the shrine that I'm going to now, but it is completely viable for this route just because of how close it is to this one and how quick it is. But it's just kind of just slow enough to not be worth doing. It also, if you mess up the strat, it can be a lot slower. It's also really convoluted to get to as well. Like the first time I incorporated it into like a certain route, I just couldn't find it. Every single time I just got lost. There's a bear. So this is one of the shrines that includes the motion controls to kind of control some of the objects in the shrine, but they're really quite funky in how they work. So that one seems really normal and average. When you get to this one is just a mess. Not a mess because like how to get up it, it's just because a mess of how broken it is. Or when it works. Ah, it's too low. Way too low.
Oh, too bad.
It's alright, I can just glide back. I'm just gonna change the angle just a little bit. Bit too. No. There we go.
Nice.
I don't know about you, but considering that's not the shrine we were supposed to see, I think it actually kind of sums up Breath of the Wild as a whole. That you don't have to be a speedrunner to like sit for hours and have a go in these shrines and, you know, get your own creative mind at play. Like, these aren't the intended ways, but neither do you have to be a speedrunner to try and enjoy and do some of these either.
Yeah. There is a shrine IL leaderboard as well, so like if you think you're really good at a certain shrine, there's like a leaderboard you can use for that. Which is really handy with like the Switch, because most shrines are like under 30 seconds. So like if you're using a Switch, you can just like hold down the screenshot button and record the last 30 seconds. So as soon as you hit the end of the shrine, you can just make a recording and then upload it. I forget where I'm going. Yeah. Also, my controller hasn't been on charge this whole time, but it hasn't died, which is really miraculous.
Oh,
Oh, there we go. Yeah, I'm gonna eat this just in case. I don't even need to, but like, yeah, things like that happen. Your horse just hurts you for no reason. Yeah, there's a few things that can kill you in the test of the but it's not. Not a big deal. Yeah, Tester was relatively simple. You can only use the wooden items that are given to you in your stasis equipment. Yeah, it's relatively simple. And with having 3 gills, it's child's play when you get to the other areas. These fire bats are usually quite vital on the old route, just because of how you don't have scales at this point in the old route. So yeah, because this is on the fly, then it's not a big deal. Okay, this is the last shrine. We want to get the sword after this. I'm just going to turn in all the spirit orbs and then pull the sword out.
is that gonna be time? Is that
Yeah,
gonna be? Yeah.
time will be as soon as I pull the sword out. Yeah. I think it's quicker to just void out here rather than teleport back, so I'm just going to void out. Yeah, the little guy doesn't want his stuff back, so we just got to keep it. I didn't do any damage to him. There we go. I just need to get rid of the orange heart. Some reason. Yeah, after you turn the first one, you don't have to watch the animation of it floating down anymore. It just kind of gives you the heart, which is nice. So this is the main reason why I wait until right until the very end to turn them on. Everyone's dabbing around me. This is hellish.
Just hell.
You could probably have a compilation of UKSM videos of solid dabbing. Alright, time's coming up soon.
Link.
If everyone wants to come around and dab as I pull the sword out, that'd be cool. No? No one? Alright. Got about 10 seconds. No one's moved. Alright. I'll shout time when it happens. And time. Yeah, so that's MSRTA. If you want to learn any more about the speedrun of Breath of the Wild, or like any other categories, there's short categories as well as long categories. There's like grip or toe, any percent, grip or toe, 100%. There's any percent all dungeons,
Diesem Ort sollst du
all Korok seeds, 100% if you're crazy enough. That's almost below 24 hours now. I think it's like 28, 26 or something like that.
selbst der lange Schlaf in seiner Erinnerung.
Yeah, just join the Discord. If you go on the speedrun.com page, Fast Breath of the Wild, there's links and everything on there with resources and all the leaderboards there as well. You can also play this game with amiibos as well if you want to cheat. But,
Yeah. Metal boxes.
that's it.
Okay, everyone, so that is Breath of the Wild. We can all take a breath now. Whew. We survived all the status slot inches. Whew. Meadow wasn't a pain. Whew. We're doing well here. So from the chat side, lots of good runs, lots of GGs coming through. We may all slightly be in trouble because Ozo2 said I thought we had a no dabbing policy. So we may all be slightly in trouble for that, but you know, never mind. Right, well, oof. Right, catch our breath a second. So we are sitting on £1,670, which is a smash above what we expected to do. As said, coming up is the Celeste run. Now, Ari already put down the gauntlets in. She is going to donate £1 for every death, up to 100 deaths. If anyone wants to join in with this, I'm not saying you do £1 per death, but even if you want to do a penny per death, 5p. But if you want to have a bit of fun with us while we go into the finale and the last run, please join in. We're going to have a good bit of fun and laugh there. Now, there was supposed to be an interview at this point. We are going to cut that for the time difference. And for chat's purposes, you may have just escaped because we don't today have to find out what happens when your fiancé interviews the runner. So, you know, we might have actually, you know, made a good escape there. So, guys, stay tuned. Only going to be a couple of minutes for switchover. Salad is going to be here. And we're going to wrap up. Oh, yeah, I kind of forgot the time. Do you want to know what it is? Oh, okay, fair enough. You can sort of tell it together, can't you? 2 hours, 27 minutes and 10 seconds.